I'm alive.
Shalom and good day all. And today, in the Super Science Fortress of Attitude, we are going to covering the first issues of Superman Rebirth.
Yep.
Woohoo!
The
Woo!
first 6 issues. The Son of Superman. Woohoo!
Yay! Yeah.
Very nice.
Nice.
Yes.
Some awesome covers in the first 6 issues.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome covers.
Yeah, article and father and son by the attitude. But like the reader special. Ooh, as I love the covers.
Okay.
And the trade paperback is worth picking up.
Yep. Like the hardcover would pick up too.
Yep. Gonna have to
I
work
love
on getting
that
it.
cover.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yes.
I like the covers that have John showing up in it as well.
Yeah, that's
They're
adorable.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, chronologically, this book takes place after the final year Superman story arc.
Yeah, it's after the death of Superman.
That was new
Which is-
Superman.
Yeah, between the New 52 and Rebirth.
Yep. All considered after Dark Side War. All that necessary for the turn of evil for good men to do nothing. I didn't believe that quote with all my heart. I bet you did too. Saying it.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't want to.
I think he's reading from one of the issues.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, I just think it's a good idea to people listening to maybe give them a little bit of a background of what led into, because we're reviewing Superman issues 1 to 6.
Yes.
Superman 1 to 6, and the story arc is called Son of Superman.
Yep.
And it should be noted that before this series began, that we had Convergence, and
Yeah.
we had John Kent born to the Superman and Lois Lane of the pre Flashpoint version.
Yep.
And essentially, what happened is Superman was actually spying on the New 52 Superman. There was actually 2 Superman on the Earth, and the Superman we now love, the Rebirth Superman, was essentially keeping a low profile and not wanting to interfere with the New 52 Superman, and just living a nice quiet life with his wife Lois Lane and his son and their son Jonathan Kent. And they were living in Hamilton County, about 300 miles outside of Metropolis, and they were keeping essentially a low profile. And in any event, when the New 52 Superman died, and this Superman, Rebirth Superman, had to step up to the plate and be the new Superman for the DC universe, and that's essentially what he did. That's where we were at the beginning of Superman Rebirth issue 1, and that first story arc, issue 1 through 6, introduced readers to Jonathan Kent, young John Kent, of course, named after his grandfather, Kal-El's Earth father, Jonathan Kent. And it's a fantastic opening arc. It's what made myself, and I know I'm sure I can speak for Tehillim and Tevla, that we fell in love with young John Kent as destined to be the young Superboy at that time. And I'll just let you guys take it from there.
Yep. Oh yeah. My call is this story takes place after Superman Lewis and Clark series, which the comic movie suggested in general. Like background check. Before we had New 52, we had Convergence, which Convergence was a mess. And you want to start that story about how the one thing that came out of Convergence in general, the one thing that came out of Madness was the Superman Lewis and Clark series. One of my favorite story of all time that takes place in DCU, long story. And during the time, during this story, we also had the Superman Truth Arc, and it's about Dog or the Bear because the Truth Arc was garbage. Don't read it. It's hello, Dr. Mortimer. Yeah, all right. The Truth Arc, in my opinion, was not that great, but back on track. And during this time, we also had by the Superman. The right there, New 52 Superman. And I know somebody got pissed off there, but damn it, New 52 my Superman. New 52 without it. Look, New 52 Superman, he was fine, but he wasn't my Superman. I'm sorry, New 52 Superman, now I've been day one, and his death was a good death, my opinion. Finally, after all this stuff, we finally got to the Rebirth. And Rebirth was a major necessary because of pages. DCU with a failure. Convergence happened, and so we finally got to the Superman arc. And this book, I don't know, from my other favorite story. I love Tomorrow's Superman. Tomorrow's Superman is amazing, awesome, and this book, this story is amazing. It gets into my boy John Mason and his Superboy. Technically speaking, his favorite parent like this, but I love particularly all three stories. All three stories, in my opinion, but the acting are amazing. And what I can say, this is a great story, and I recommend checking it out for itself because the fans my family, check it out. Yep, I'm telling you.
Well, you all jumped onto the easiest points in that to pick out in regards to what led up to the Son of Superman. And they're all right. They're all absolutely correct. I did enjoy what Convergence gave to us in regards to giving us John Samuel Kent.
Yep.
And take note, this story was written by Dan Jurgens,
Yep.
who then moved on to the Rebirth of Action Comics. And that was fantastic. And you can see him still sort of like showing the character's growth even for John in that run. But even though we're not talking about the Action Comics run right now, we are talking about the Tomasi Rebirth run. What these first 6 issues do is they help build the world up to which the family of these the Kent family is in, and where everything starts off in the humble roads of Hamilton, of all places.
Well, actually, before they started, we were special. We were special for Superman. We were special.
Yes, there was.
Which that issue explained why the two Superman. Because if you never read the Superman, you'll be extremely lost. The code will fly. I got a panel. I got a panel. It's so great. Yeah.
Now, take note that this Superman costume isn't the one that a certain writer is using.
Oh, yeah, Bendis.
Right now.
Yeah.
But it was still a good costume that was set for him.
Yep.
That I did enjoy. And I also liked what they did with John.
Yep.
How he basically got a zip. Almost very similar to a hoodie. His costume.
Yep.
But it's still good.
It was adorable.
Well, I think it should be noted that young John Kent, his costume, he actually got his shirt, his top, Superman top, from a secondhand shop.
That's correct.
In their home, and that's actually explained in the first issue. And what I love about the first issue is that young John Kent, I mean, he gets his first, he buys his secondhand shop Superman T-shirt, and then he acquires a cat, a gold cat that he calls Goldie. And I love that he accidentally melts and kills the cat because the kitten is is basically swooped up by an eagle, and then in anger he uses his heat vision and he kills the cat.
Yeah,
I actually thought that was quite comical, and that scene led to him meeting
Cappy.
Kathy Brandon, who was his neighbor, and her grandpa Cobb, is a character that would play a significant role in subsequent story arcs.
Yeah, and the Black Dawn story arc.
Yeah, and what I really liked is the friendship that developed between Kathy and young John Kent, because he needed one, and I really liked the way that Tomasi and Gleason developed that, and they did such a great job with they're so good. Patrick Gleason is so good at drawing expressive eyes. Like he can draw children so well, and he did such a great job. I mean, this scene here when he first meets Kathy, and she sees that he uses his heat vision to take out the eagle and the cat. I mean, it's just a beautifully drawn scene.
Indeed.
And the fact that she doesn't tell on him and doesn't report him to his father, it's a beautifully illustrated and written first opening issue.
In fact, that opening issue gave everyone the background with John, right? If you can see. Hang on.
And there were absolutely some incredible pages in this comic run.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter what issue you went to in any of the 6, they all had something wonderful to offer.
Yeah.
The first issue, I thought in that particular scene where he did also use his heat vision against the eagle, not just anger, but also fear, and almost a terrifying fear, the seeing on his face, because he knew that he broke the rules.
Yeah, but it was good reason. His name Kitty.
Yeah. He was trying to do the right thing, stepped out of bounds, realized he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah.
Didn't know how to go about bringing it up, and this is where the second issue actually comes in and helps with it.
Well, not just that, but it also showed up in like Batman and Wonder Woman show up in this issue.
Hey, good to see you, Ed Brewer. Glad to see you made it.
Like it showed up in Batman and Wonder Woman talk to Superman, because since Adam and before this story takes place before Superman 1 was an accident story called they don't know the Superman, because their Superman that he died. Or literally exploded.
And you can see also between the characters, and also when you move into the second issue after he opens up about what the Justice League said to him, that they were a bit unsure of how much they could trust him because he's made his appearance. After losing their own. And that was really good. That also played really well with the story that came ahead.
They needed to establish his trust, and he needed to establish theirs. In the opening part of the second issue, that's when the Justice League sent Superman to rescue that nuclear submarine, which ultimately ended up being such that he had Jonathan learn how to focus his heat vision better, that unfortunately, young John Kent, ended up injuring his dad quite badly, burning him badly, but he could take the heat, and the advice that Superman gave his son was aim small, mix small with your heat vision, and it was good advice, and it's also a little bit of a life lesson there too, which that's one of the things I like about the entire 6-issue arc, is that there's life lessons planted in there by writer Peter Tomasi that you can, anybody reading it, whether you're young or old, or an older guy like me with a 5-year-old daughter, I mean, there are life lessons here that you can really get out of it.
Which even Superman said in dialogue, which is quote, I can take it, John. Look at me, I'm fine. The two are sins. Try again. You can do it. You're my son. I see John did a bag, like the bag he'll get. He take out his coat. It's a really Superman symbol, which is actually awesome. Like, you're my son. It's so cool. Like, it makes me smile so much. It reminds me of the Dragon Ball Z, or with actually pretty cool weapons. This is why I love Tamaki writing and Jeremy of Superman, because they get the Superman character. Like, unlike the New 52, which I know I keep a New 52 if I have to, because New 52, let's face it, New 52 was a failure with a bad idea on day one. They had to reboot Superman edgy, harder. They died Superman with the punch thing and stuff. No! Look! I'm an action Superman, but you know, that's Superman. That's more big generic Superman I've seen way too many times. I want Superman to be smart, intelligent, and he's hard. That's it. Like, fight something and beat it in a few seconds. That's boring! We've seen that too many times before. Like, I'm tired of bad writers saying Superman and make him boring. That's why Superman being a parent, I mean, it works because it's a story no one has never seen before.
Typically, I think you'll find that in this arc, both Tomasi and Gleason played a part in writing the script, as well as Gleason working on the art.
Yep, you're right about that.
Well, Peter Tomasi, he in the credits, he credits them both as storytellers.
Yeah,
he does give Tomasi that credit as well. So yeah, they're both. That's accurate. Yes, it is.
Yeah, they also wrote the Rebirth one-shot special, with the like awesome epic splash with Doomsday.
Yeah, and it's also good seeing those writers combining their storytelling together as to what they've done in the past. I enjoy, like, for example, Patrick Gleason. One of my favorite stories that he actually works on is Robin, Son of Batman.
Oh yeah, he did like that.
I love that story. It is one of my favorites.
It's actually a Damon Wayne story.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And you can see how much he has also learnt by being alongside with Peter J. Tomasi.
Yeah.
Because what he showed in the first arc in Robin, Son of Batman, is that, yes, he will take the time to get and know the character inside and out. But he also has learned how to integrate new characters and make it organic.
Not forced. Like
yeah.
Who, okay, you know what? This is right. Okay. I hate putting Bendis up. I have to because oh boy, this is why I have Bendis. You bring that new character that brings that Red Crowd. Who's Red Crowd? I'll give it to you. It takes like 6 issues to get to the damn point, and we find it's the supporter lady. Who? Or Robinson Good. Who cares a damn? I'll get Robinson Good. She's boy. Like unlike Tomasi and Gleason and Tomasi, like I said, they actually know how to introduce new characters, like Cappy and the other character Robinson about nobody, but made it organic, not forced. And that's how my point Bendis keep new characters that are not interesting, they're boring. Tomasi and Gleason, they understand characters.
Yeah. If I were to add on top of that, I reckon Bendis could learn from Gleason, especially of his time period that he's actually been at DC.
Yeah.
Of how to write for DC.
Yeah.
Right. You can normally tell the difference between one person's storytelling and another, and how they bring it across, and how much they also understand of that universe or of that world.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that we're not. Bendis is doing his own thing. He's never gonna. Bendis was very disrespectful of Tomasi, and he completely ignored it. Bendis did whatever he wanted. And, I heard it through what I consider to be a very reliable source that there was not any collaboration between Bendis and Tomasi or anything like that in the
Or
transition.
Grecian.
There wasn't any of that at all. And well, that is what it is. But I just want to make a point about Robin, son of Batman. That lasted about 12 issues, and that's when Damian actually acquired Goliath, right? His
Yeah,
Goliath,
That's
right?
correct.
You'll love it.
Yeah,
That-
I remember that. That was
That
that
is
was
so-
during the DCU.
It
Yeah.
was in DCU. Yeah, which also led up into another story, Robin War, which as I brought before, Robin War was a stupid event. I mean, hang on, I'll try to screen share it. Can you see?
Well, it was there was an event that essentially led to the Signal becoming an actor, more for Duke, the character.
Yeah, for
than
Duke,
anyone else,
with-
I think.
This entire story, in my opinion, was not that great. Wait, yeah, can you see?
That's the
Yeah.
Robin Wall that you're showing there.
Yeah,
We're looking Robin, son of Batman.
yeah, well, I remember after Robinson and Batman, we got Robin War, which I don't remember. This entire story was made for Real Robin, a stupid series that made no sense. But hang on, got.
Hey, it's our favorite archivist. Eric. Good to see you made it. Good to see you made it, Eric. Hey, Dragon Majesty read some of the Super Sons. Excellent.
Try to tell you so real great.
Because about a question I have about issue 2 is what happened to Brandon or Kathy Brandon? Like, whatever happened to her character? She just disappeared at the end of the run. Wait, remember?
Oh yeah.
In the Rebirth, like at the end at issue 45, the last place she was seen
Was with
was when they ended up going to like a bit of a festival thing.
yeah, the fair.
And
Right.
you remember the Boizaro arc that they had?
I remember that was the last story from Tomasi and Grecian.
Yeah,
Okay.
she was seen around that period, and then issue 45 came.
Yeah.
And they sort of like had a bit of a fate or affair.
Yeah, fair. It was a fair celebrity Superman and John.
And in it, you got to see Kathy, you got to see Maya, she was there too.
Yep.
And
Right,
that's a
right.
character that Patrick Gleason created. Love the character.
Yeah, she's adorable.
So, right. So, I guess my point is that these characters are still characters that could still be incorporated. They could still be used. These characters.
Yes.
They could be still
And
used.
Bendis still hasn't used any of these characters, nor likely will he, because they're all too young now. Again.
Yep.
Yeah. The problem with Ben is, in my opinion, I have with him, and I hate the guy. I don't want to hate the guy in prison. I know that he's a nice man in real life, but my point of lighter is that he keeps messing everything. He keeps going hey, I'm not going to do content. I'm going to do my own story, make my own characters. Except, no one gets that, and you can't have been boring. Like for example, like I can't believe it. Robo's on. How can you never oversaw? Over there, I'm awful villain. I'm saying, and I'm evil. I'm gonna kill Betty Krypton. Are you gonna kill Krypton lady? No, I'm gonna kill the last Kryptonian. But why? Reasons. Because I'm evil and I want to kill everybody. What? Robo's on like hell all over again. Another Jedi monster character would make no sense. And hell with New 52. But Scott Liddell. With another lighter very force of a history list. With. Like, what made Tomasi and Grecian work, that they understood the character and they made new characters, it made sense. It was organic, not forced. And that's why I love Tomasi's work. He great characters. Heck, he brought the Arkham Knight in. Who we don't know Arkham Knight or play Arkham Knight. Spoiler if you haven't played that game already. The Arkham Knight in the game it's Jason Todd. which if anyone read Underwood Heard or read about history, you will likely will get that. But in the Tentacomics run, they activated Truth to Organization 7 Lab. It actually cast light. Guys, like do you got one who organized in Detective Comics?
Hey, good to see you, Maverick.
Let's see, Maverick. They've been doing everything wrong. I agree. You're doing everything wrong.
Oh, and we've got another guest in the house.
Drunk Nation.
Hey, nice to see you made it. Thank you.
Hey, man.
Thanks for making it.
Well, I should mention that at the end of issue 2, what I like about the end of issue 2 of Superman Rebirth is Jonathan Kent. He gets actually knocked out. He falls out of the tree. He's in the tree with Catherine. He falls out and he gets rendered unconscious. And that's when you know, at the beginning of issue 3, they take him to the Fortress of Solitude, which they know is the Fortress of Solitude of the previous Convergence Superman, or the new 52
New 52 Superman, because the Convergence Superman went out there with the mountain. That's his fortress. The fortress.
Yes, and what they find is that John Kent is actually he's not completely invulnerable yet, and of course that's when they confront the Eradicator. And I really love how Tomasi uses the Eradicator as a character that really uses the Eradicator as a method of which to explore the dichotomy between Superman's legacy, as the legacy of his son and the legacy of Krypton, and all the spirits of those dead Kryptonians were inside the Eradicator, and he absorbs Krypto. He ends up absorbing Krypto, the super dog, and ultimately that leads to a great scene in issue 6, where Jonathan Kent gets quite pissed off because of what happens to his dog, and when he eventually helps down take the Eradicator. But I really like how Tomasi wrote that, and I really liked Tomasi and Gleason, I guess they wrote it together.
Yeah.
And the scene and just the way it all came together. I really like the story. I like the story of the spirits of Krypton sort of embodied in the Eradicator, and essentially the Eradicator wanting to destroy the human side of Jonathan Kent. Get rid of the Lois Lane side of Jonathan Kent because he felt it was corrupted. Yeah. And I love the way that his father defended him. I thought it was very, very well done.
Also, not to mention, the Eradicator was made by General Zod, who apparently in this continuity, unlike New 52 Eradicator, which if you like New 52 Boy, the New 52 Boy Eradicator was so stupid that it's hard to planet. Like, what? Try reading up New 52 Eradicator in your back for me, because that book was confusing in the mind, but Patrick Gleason and Tomasi, they retconned that trial of resistance. New Eradicator that makes sense, because and this Eradicator said that, quote, this protocol was created by General Zod. He Christian outside the Eradicator. Our duty was to seek out and was controlling lawbreakers on General Zod's list. Yeah, they kind of basically went on like judges from Judge Dredd, but he's Krypton basically. And they were made in generality to fight against criminals. But when Krypton blew up, if the Eradicator, like I said, took all the soul from Krypton and put it in their own body, which that's actually really cool. Cool, actually, like we introduced to Eradicator. Yeah, he did. Right, that was a great art.
Well, aren't we forgetting a person who played an important role in that too? Lois Lane?
Yeah, Lois Lane.
And what she said to John?
Yeah.
And what she wore? And what did
the hell?
Yes.
Issue 6. I love that. Epic
Yes,
color.
yes, that comes up.
Wore
That
the
comes in the
Hellbats, dude.
next upcoming issues.
Yeah, it does. But issue 6 is badass. Like my bit bad is when John and Superman fight the Eradicator and punch him in the face. It's awesome. I thought it was fun.
I enjoyed a little. Yeah, I enjoyed the words that she also gave to John in that time period. If you have a look at what she said,
Yeah.
very clear but very straight to the point too.
Yeah. With
Because she didn't want him to make the wrong mistake,
yeah.
something that he might regret later on. And I thought that was really good, considering also the lesson that he learned beforehand when he was with his dad,
Yeah.
helping with the octopus situation. And it just shows a real nice balance that these two are actually in sync as parents in taking care of their son.
Yeah. With War said after when John gets angry, gets pissed off about Eradicator when Tim Crypto. Yeah. Well, John, don't listen to me. You're the better one-sided. You're gonna be great. Choose to be. Yeah, and John after he goes to help his dad, and well, as in the fate was awesome. And that caused a lot of people to be explode, kind of, sort of. And they tell it always to Metropolis. When they reach another character out there, which turned out there a long time, a Bibbo.
Yeah, and that scene you're reading, Tevla, where Lois says that to John, her son, that you can be great if you choose to be. In that same scene, in that same issue, that's issue 4. I love that there's a generational divide as well that's united because Superman ends up being trapped in the Eradicator. Within the Eradicator, and he talks to the souls of the spirits of the dead Kryptonians, and he also talks to his father, Jonathan Kent. So he talks to his own father, Jonathan Kent, as well as the other spirits of the dead Kryptonians, and makes it out of the Eradicator, and then ultimately ends up pulling out Krypto. So
yeah,
actually
with that issue 6. Yep. Right there. Sorry to interrupt, but the actually scene we talk with the you talked is Paul, Paul Kent from before Paul Kent died, I think that's in issue 3, I think. Well, I think it's at the issue 3. I'm gonna remember you. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. When they ran in Bibble bar. They left the coconut in the rock, and Bilbo threw the rock basically away from the bar. And they actually showed the Krypton go inside Clark for a sec. But like I said, we see Parkin show up. That's pretty cool. He said, "You're always right where someone needs you to be. Can't do that, son. You got a young family to do it now. The duty of the living to carry on the name of those of us who can't, so we can rest easy. So that you can be free." Yep, and she must see all the sort of cut down, but then Eradicator, being a jerk, but he take the sort of cut down into his body. But being actually the sort of cut down as inspired Superman, they had to go out there to give Superman, Lois, and John some time. So Superman does the smart thing to the submarine, put Lois and John there, and they go to the moon, to Batman Moon Base, which is issue 5. Which issue 5, I mean, is one of my favorite moments because Adam 4 it had Superman, Lois, and Clark go to the cave and on the moon, which that was awesome. I got a moment. She got that bats. It's pretty cool. But Eradicator does follow him and add him in the kind of alien, alien in general. Actually, the Eradicator will not stop, and it will never stop until it gets both John and Clark, which. In many comic boom, it does get caught. But being a badass, we're just saying that Lord, after looking at that, but she gets the helmet on her and kicks the record at it. Awesome. He said, get your head off my son. It's awesome.
Yeah. It was really good, and I actually love the idea of a bat cave on the dark side of the moon. That was an inspired idea. I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably not, to my knowledge, I don't think Batman ever had a Batcave on the moon in any other story, but I
he
stand to be
did.
corrected on that. But that was great. And I particularly love, it's unfortunate that Superman and Superboy ended up, and Lois Lane in the Hellbat suit ended up just pretty much destroying the Batcave.
Yeah.
But Batman didn't seem to be too upset about it. At the end of issue 6, he says, you know, he could afford to fix it, so it wasn't that big a deal. But I really like there was that scene where you know, it's really in that battle on the moon base where John Kent really finds his courage. He finds a lot more of his courage and his bravery, and he's forced to step up to the plate and battle in order to save his dad and to save Lois. Of course, Lois helps him out. You know, Mom in the Hellbat suit. Actually, it was really funny because later on in issue 6, I think Jonathan Kent teased his mom and called her Bat Mom.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And he went like they call her Bat Mom, right?
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but when issue 5 when Superman gets sort of Krypton, it's actually cool more because it's thank you, Mom, for owning that 4K. I'll take it from here. Like a full Super Saiyan kayak moment. Awesome. When Superman has to go to Krypton inside, I'm gonna go Super Saiyan. It's pretty he calls it Super Saiyan. Krypton inside my Superman. It's so bad and awesome. When you go out there, it's awesome. How far on will you point the future at the arrow? The target. How long will you put the exit in the of a foreign world? They find out my parent and do the so second evident. Okay, man, how to keep my voice safe? Wait, awesome. The sharing hot it will drive you deep in the target. With your opportunity arrow, expect that he a mistake. Ever see that Peter? What kind of occasion? Never. John's not a mistake. Yep. And you have to get one bad moment. You get kicked out from the arcade. Awesome. Woo! And kaboom! And nuclear mushroom crab. Awesome. In fact, the last time word Rocket said it cold. I learned this is how you feel. High in the darkness. I never felt alone. Kicked out. Sit. Woo! Yep. And the final moment I can touch Superman reveals to the world that he got to get alive. Meaning, like I said in General T with going back to the bottle. Hey man, Mom. Superman to everybody. Yep. That's adorable. Like father, mother, and son are embracing the future. Like this is why I love Betty's Mark, work and Patrick Newton. They got to get these human moments great. Like it's about father and son and a mother trying to adapt to this new world. And like we said near the end of issue 6, Superman introduced John's trajectory with Batman and Wonder Woman. And that issue was my favorite story of all time.
My favorite part of issue 6 is when they after defeating the Eradicator and Crypto has been pulled out of the Eradicator, you know, Crypto's, you know, Superman says to his dog, Crypto, sit, and he sits on the Eradicator. I thought that was quite good as he walks back, and one of the things that was said in issue 6 by Superman he says that the legacy of the House of L belongs to John, and I think that's something that I think Bendis is building on that. I don't like the way Bendis is building on that, but Bendis has recently stated that in the Legion of Superheroes issue 5 that John is the one true Superman. I don't know if I agree with that, but there is that building on of the legacy aspect of John, and that he is carrying on that legacy of the House of L, and that this was and I loved how Tomasi and Gleason, they established that in this opening arc, and they made it very clear, and they set the right tone moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're 100% right, but 100%. Because, anyway, that was really bad. John with the if I had to live for a second, which that elevator abandoned illusion ability to make no sense because John illusion, which is one, that's bullshit. Two, that makes no sense. Three, that's not organic. That's forced. They're watching John development, but from this 10-year-old kid who actually trying to enjoy powers to being the one to shoot. Which that doesn't make any sense because Doomsday Clock established that Clark is the one to assume it. You can't retcon that. If you retcon that, you retcon this story. And you retcon basically that part, you retcon Doomsday Clock. But retcon everything in the video story doesn't work. I am tired of getting retcons. They don't make sense. Like, this is why I love about the Tomonti movie and Patrick Reed movie. They have John, learn after his mistake, learn to be a great character and be a good hero. And even though he's still a kid, he's still trying to learn how to be a good hero. And like you said, Con Boom, you might say that John is my future, and I've never been alone, which is why I love Tomonti and Gleason because they understand John and the Superman family. And a family, they work. It's a great unit. It's awesome. Why can't the one to Superman be the one to Superman? Good question, Ed Brewer.
That's that's very true. That's very, very, very true. And I don't know. Are you? Can you hear us, Tahila?
Yes, I can hear. I was actually thinking of maybe having a. Oh, I was thinking of maybe responding to that to Ed Brewer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Seeing that you two have taken up quite a bit of time. I agree. It's a really good question. What was it? In the Joker's Wild, which is not connected to the Super Sons Fortress of Attitude, I ended up addressing an issue on a topic called Arkham Education, and you might want to check that out. And it's called Educating Bendis. And I don't know. I think no. I know Tavier read it. I'm not too sure about Comic Room. He may have read it. And right, yes, there has been a lot of bad issues, especially in regards to retconning.
Yeah.
And trust me, ever since Bendis has come on, I have been counting every retcon that he has brought in.
How many retcons have you done?
It's got to be over the 50 mark now of how many things he's actually retconned.
What?
Oh yes, including retconning on top of his own retcons.
Wait.
Terrible.
One example is Rogol Zar. Right? I want to give you the example of Rogol Zar. This is the best example to work with. With Rogol Zar, when he brought him into his Superman run, not the Tomasi Superman run.
Yeah.
When he made his appearance in Man of Recycled Toilet Paper, as I state, according to the article, he gives the impression that Rogol Zar is sort of like from another planet.
Yep.
Later on, it goes a little bit further. By the end of the Unity saga and the House of Owl saga, it's retconned that, he was a Kryptonian all along.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Wait. How does that make sense?
Why did you just literally shit on your own retcon, to put it bluntly?
That's confusing. How do we know a Kryptonian? Why is it Kryptonian? What? My point
Alright, another thing too is in regards to the Legion of Superheroes, which I also address in the article, is that some of the things that have happened, such as, I'm going to call it the abuse of Damian Wayne under the Legion of these future supervillains. They're not heroes. They are not heroes at all.
They're not. They're assholes.
To put it bluntly, yes. And of course, you see in that run that yes, Bendis wants to establish John Kent as the true Superman. Well, you realize what he's basically doing to Siegel and Schuster?
He's taking away the iconic character and retconning it and not being the one to Superman. No, instead of being the father who's the one to Superman, who set up everything from every single universe, every single comic for existence, he said practically next to John, which doesn't work. You can't retcon that. If you retcon it, you retcon everything from the entire universe. It doesn't work. Doomsday Clock established that Superman Clark Kent is the one true Superman. It established Doomsday Clock, it established Pre-Flashpoint. Heck, even if you could establish like that, okay, you could do that in a great match, it'll be cut the fuck. Grant Morrison respect the Superman legacy. I bet you could.
Alright, let me finish.
Right.
Alright. If you look into, say, the older Legion of Superheroes, and I also bring up an article that was brought up by CVR, right, there is basically quite a lot of leniency within the Legion of Superheroes to even have the Justice League turn up, Young Justice turn up, Teen Titans, even the Titans, and also including the Super Sons.
Oh yeah, they did show it. So Young John Kent and Wayne.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter how far back you went with this particular series, it does actually allow the door for someone other than Superman to come into and have a look at this future.
Yeah.
Right? It could be used as an opportunity for someone to reform their lives, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you look at what happened with Damian Wayne, it was just instant do this against him. Whoa. Don't you realize what you've already done? You have enacted in an action which could be counted as criminal? Take into account, Damian would still be a minor.
Yeah.
Right? Even under the Legion of Superhero rules. Don't you think that they would have rules against harming minors?
Especially a 13-year-old child, still trying to, well, not child, he's a teenager now, but who's trying to learn to play down a good hill and not become like the monster from Bound Beyond or some like the Six Sisters future. But that is human.
Yeah, and looking at the rules, just going according to what Bendis established in the Superman, and also within the Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah.
Alright? And this is a great thing that Comic Boom actually brought up on his own channel. And I totally agree with the point that he brought up, is that there was an absolute violation of their own rules.
Mm-hmm.
Alright? You have the Legion of Superheroes traveling from the future to the past. Okay, what's that? Time traveling. Then you have the United Planets practically using the same thing to send who back to the past? This Jor-El.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
This rule has now been violated twice.
Yep.
2 times.
We're still confused the hell. I mean, let me get this straight.
Well, it's funny that they actually executed Jor-El. They sent Jor-El back to when Krypton exploded, essentially executed.
Yes.
Even though they wanted to miss the
One of the reasons why they did that to Jor-El because he had time traveled in violation, and yet nobody seemed to care that these Legion of Superheroes appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah.
On Unity Day, time traveling, claiming to be time travelers, and nobody blinks an eye. And, and also, as a quick aside, I should also say, why wasn't Rogue Lazar executed? What happened to Rogue Lazar?
Yep.
Bendis never thought it was, never thought he would address that. Like, what the F is going on?
Yeah, and to make it even worse, when you see the you show up, Superman didn't look at him and said, wait, what? That's the man Junior got never finished. Junior got was finished. That's so ill. Why are you retconning Junior got over to Superman early? You can't do that. Junior got was made to bring back the Superman. That was the plan. But then Bendis came out and said, no, I'm not going to do that plan. So we're going to scroll that plan out and retcon that plan and release it back. Because John made it with the superheroes. Hold the phone there, G. That, what? No. Superman meant to be Superman when he's a child. You can't, it's a retcon, the domino effect that changed the timeline. Oh my god, my brain is hurting up.
Yeah.
Speaking of drama, give me thoughts. I do everything stuff. When the United Native plans or whatever the epic name is so stupid. They execute Mr. Oz, the Jor-El. Don't they question how he's trying to tell in the first place? It was Dr. Manhattan who brought back to the present. Not him. Why don't they question it? God.
Hey, good to see you, Daft Pin. Welcome to the stream. And yes, I'm doing quite good. And I hope you enjoy the stream. We're talking about the Super Sons. We've just gone a little bit off track, just addressing some side issues in regards to what happened, sort of like where the Super Sons was really good to what's presently happening with the Superman run by Brian Michael Bendis. And there are many that don't enjoy his runs, myself included. About the only thing of Bendis that I have come to enjoy is actually some of his Jinx World titles, and that's the only thing of his that I will promote. A lot of the Bendis stuff that I have been covering has been covered under Fool's Gold. And I address the issues and also the key points of what he's missing in his stories. So welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy it.
Yep.
One of the things that I just want to quickly note that at the end of the Super Sons arc, one of the last acts that happens is Superman, Clark Kent gives his son, John Kent, a pair of glasses to wear as a disguise. And I really like that scene because he's basically teaching his son that obviously that's the beginning of his own secret identity that he's going to have to develop for himself. And, he'll have to become accustomed to maybe protecting his secret. And it's just another example of how disappointed I am that Bendis would come along and take away the secret identity.
Yeah.
Because passing on that legacy, passing on the importance, when you're the most powerful person in arguably the universe, who you are has to be kept secret. And this nonsense that you should be revealing yourself, changing the Superman mythology. So now he's going to pass on a legacy to his son. And, not that necessarily that John Kent needs to have a secret identity, but I mean, maybe let him have one. If somebody's going to dispense with a secret identity, maybe that's a next generation thing.
Yeah.
It was just too rushed. I don't like what Bendis did with it. I don't like the loss of a secret identity. I don't like what it says about John. We've lost an entire generation of stories like Son of Superman where we get to watch a young John Kent learn and grow and make mistakes and have that a mentor relationship with his father. And we've been robbed of that. And that when I read Son of Superman, it just reminded me, and it really reinforced how really truly disappointed I am with the direction that DC has taken. And just, I don't like the Bendis Superman stories at all. They're boring, they're uneventful. I mean, who cares who Leviathan is? I mean, it's just really bad storytelling. And the whole secret identity revelation, it ruins it. His relationship with Jonathan Kent is absolutely ruined. He's made John. John, look at the family. Look at the family unit of Lois Lane and Clark Kent with John and their son in this opening arc of the first 6 issues of Son of Superman, first 6 issues of Superman Rebirth. Compare that to what Bendis has done to him. He's ripped the family apart. Lois is a bitch. She's unlikable. Superman's irresponsible. Yeah. He's now meek and mild. He's given up his identity. Now Clark Kent, who was meek and mild. Now Superman is as meek and mild as Superman is. It's pathetic. They don't even care if Jonathan Kent's in the future. They don't know where he is. They don't seem to care. They didn't care when he ran off with the psychotic grandfather. They didn't care when he came back for 5 minutes and then he's running off again. The whole thing, I think, is just absolutely despicable.
Agree, Comic Boom. And to make it even worse, they left their own Rose with their own 10-year-old son to a madman, to Mr. R and the Bendis art, but that made no sense. What? I'm sorry. The Rose with the I knew of the Tomasi one would never do that. She was a badass. She killed her own son. She protected him from an eradicator. Because with the monster was going to kill him. And she defended her own son to a mad machine, to kind of Terminator. Zircon from Terminator franchise. Holy shit! You combine both Zircon and Ripley from Alien and Terminator. That's not a bad combination. But that's the goal that I knew love. It's talking about Zircon and Ripley from Alien Terminator. And this was a bad Alien Terminator moment when the Rancor attack against John, she used the helmet armor to kick out the arcade ass. I mean, that, you know my point, right? And what makes it even worse, near the end argument, when John gets to see the name with the glasses, that was so adorable, that was so cute, because it passed from father to son. But Clark teaches his own son how to be a good person, but also how to blend into with humanity. Because John's half human, half Praetorian. And in a way, will make that special, in my opinion. Well, it's like past the next generation, but it also shows John how to be a human and how to be a great hero like his father. And what breaks my heart in John when Bendis came in and destroyed this many ways between Clark and Lord and John, that they take this great CIA and burn up a 45 issue and throw it away because nonsense. Because I don't want to want a child. That's boring. I got format acting with Mr. Sluggerman and having to talk about Ultraman from Earth 3. We thought that didn't make sense because Earth 3 was destroyed. We saw the but at the end of Darkseid War. Wait, that's what Forever Evil, I forget. Forever Evil, we saw Earth 3 got destroyed. Then Darkseid War, the old concept got killed. But then, no, they came back with what? My brain's running. But back on track. The mega stand, the mega long story short, too good. But again, we're trying to when Bendis took the Superman, he took away all the great program of Tomas and Gleason, all the hard work that they built for John. They built a great CIA that was great, and then they threw it all away. Well, Ben threw it all away because I don't want to do CIA anymore because I did it in Marvel. Let's do it DC. Even though we did a CIA review before then the True Arc, and that failed miserably. No one wants a repeat of a story we've done already. Stop it. Stop repeating bad story and just do your own little story that makes sense. Not for the good stuff that's built up from the Rebirth. You retcon all that crap and then you take all the good stuff, which is bad. And
I hear you.
And reviving, oh my, this broke me. Reviving the final star, because who's reviving? You're reviving. And then reviving playing with the kidnap John because John he's afraid that John did with a weapon. Okay. If you knew about John and that, then why did you kidnap him and then when you're still a child before though Mr. Arnold goes on crap? Why can't you use the reviving at the keys to get John? It blew my mind in John that we got that reviving could have been using an opponent for John. That could have made a great story. You have reviving, kidnap John, kidnap him as a child, like a 10 yourself, and then but you have John trying to break out reviving, kick reviving's ass, and boom, did the story. And then it would have to escape and try to warn everybody about reviving. And then if you want how to be Mark Shaw, fine. Julia Reveal. I don't give them a mock shot. They're born anyway, but you want to use them? But have most of it be John filling. Not be everybody else's villain who's used to villain who's not getting them out. What? Have basically the main villain be like the gang. Spider-Man Super Sense. Actually, wait, I came up with a better idea. Vitamin could have been with the gang. That would have been funny.
Well, we're starting to approach the end of covering those 6 issues.
Yeah.
Were there any favourite covers you had? Issues. One.
My favorite
in
cover
1 to
is the
6.
first one.
The first one?
Yeah, I just love it. I love that. I just love Peter Tomasi's art, and I love the big S, and I love.
Oh, you mean Patrick Gleason's art?
Patrick Gleason.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite cover though is issue 6. Issue 6 cover with both Father and Son in the Heat Vision. It's actually pretty cute, pretty adorable, and actually awesome.
Yeah, I enjoy each of the covers that has Superman with his son in them, because it is a story that is being centered around him.
Yeah, my father and son.
Yeah. And it shows a good way of sort of like handing down the legacy one to the other.
Yeah, and when Clark like take John to the watchtower, he actually said that quote probably won't fix it what Superman did in my cave. I go with Superman. You're here to hurt. I'm here to help. I get for the repairs. My pod always taught me to clean out our own messes. That's what we tend to do. I meet it to my son, and Dad said, "Hi." Superboy, and John meets the Chinese with Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. It's so cute. Like
it was a good scene. The end of that arc.
I love that finale. That was a great arc. Like it's my favorite arc of all the arcs. Well, yeah, that's true. All of my favorite are fantastic, but it probably be saying with my favorite arc is issue 7. With issue 7, in my opinion, what a great story. Because Superman, John, and Clark go to the fair. It's set. Hi. I love that moment. That's adorable. It's so cute. Like it makes me miss young 10-year-old John Kent even more because
it does.
it's so adorable. But Ben has to take all that away for his crap.
Well, we've got probably around half an hour left before this stream ends.
Yeah.
Perhaps we'd like to find out what the audience is reading, or has been reading this time, of the Voldemort Horcrux, which is showing its stupid witchcraft, calling its name a certain virus.
I call it the sea virus from Resident Evil.
So, to anyone who's still present, what have you been reading in this time period? Well, we're not ready to answer, I guess.
Yeah, we're not gonna get an answer.
It's dropped. That's neither here nor there. But
yeah.
What about you, Tev? You been reading anything, or?
Yeah. I actually read a recent book from that Cody gave me from Chip Zdarsky called Afterload or something like that. It's actually a very cool story. It kind of reminded me of Ghost Rider if you would Drive Angry, the Nicolas Cage movie. But the story is actually pretty cool. But it kind of yeah, that. Hang on, I got. Can you see?
Yep.
Ta-da.
Oh, very nice.
Yep. I actually did a review on my channel, and the story actually pretty cool. It's a pretty cool story in my opinion.
Oh, here we go. Eric Breen has been reading some 70s Avengers.
Nice.
Awesome. Eric, Ed Brewer, some back issues of Marvel team up with the Thing. That sounds awesome.
That's an awesome indeed. Yeah. Speaking of recent news, we actually got to come out the death metal for that kind of event, and death metal it looks like it's gonna honor a lot of stuff from Doomsday Clock. Because so we call Document Hand's gonna be death metal. Well, kind of sort of, it could be reference. So it looks like Scott Snyder, unlike Bendis, is gonna have to honor the continuity. Scott Snyder loves continuity. Bendis does not like continuity at all. He's full continuity because bullshit. You don't know what Scott Snyder and Bendis. Okay, Scott Snyder, he loves continuity. He loves Young John Kent. He loves Young John in metal. Why can't Bendis do the same thing as what I said Young Kent? I don't get it. Why take away the and throw away the Hobbit, Greg Rucka, like the Rose Rainbow? Okay, the Rose Rainbow, I tried. I really did try to get that book a chance. I gave it 6. Wait, how many issues on a Rose Rain? I think 10 issues, I think. 10 issues. And the one issue I bought was with the Arriving Time. And that issue gave it a John Kent and Rose Rain moment. Problem I had of it is that it had John Kent go to the superheroes. Why have John Kent go to the superheroes? You don't know the superheroes. You never met them.
Well, I know that soon I should be getting my mail from my LCS, so I should be able to get back into covering some Fool's Gold. Yeah, it might be a little bit late, and yes, it will be covering the Legion of Superheroes. But I might find another title in there which I'll be able to cover and review.
Yeah.
So, in some cases, better later than never.
Yeah. I actually did hear this though. Apparently, new comic book day is still gonna happen thanks to this new app called Comics something.
Comic Hub, I think it is.
Yeah, that's it. Apparently, new comic day is still gonna happen next week. I think I forget the name of it, but for what I can tell, that comic book program, I don't know how I feel about it. It feels weird. Like they're not information about, or good information, but it sounds really off. Right?
Yeah.
Apparently, Image is not gonna be Image Comics not gonna be part of the Comic Club either for the program. Which, okay, I'll give Image Comics credit because I did find an article about this recently. I found this now, and it looks like they're not gonna be part of the Comic Club program. Which, in one way, that's good because I give Image Comics credit. They always stick their gun and pick more physical copies. I approve because. Let's face it, I care about physical copies though, because physical copies you can hold, you can read it and you don't know what getting destroyed in it. But I don't want anybody it take the copy, it take away the physical copy. Because if the server go down, you read the comics.
Would you like to add anything more, Comic Boom?
Well, I think I pretty much covered it. I mean, I'm reading right now. I'm reading in terms of what I'm reading. I'm reading a whole slew right now. I'm catching up on a lot of the Joe Hill, like Basket Full of Heads, The Plunge, and all those the Low Woods and all those ones. And I got some Valiant. I need to catch up on Dr.
Oh, some Valiant. Oh, is that Dr. Tomorrow you got there?
Yeah.
Worth the read. Worth the read. Good story. The writer knows what he's doing. I've read through the first issue, read through the second, enjoyed the second.
Yeah, well, that's good. If you recommend it, obviously, I got the first 2 issues. I just haven't read them yet, so I
definitely worth the read. They're on my comic haul list.
Sure, right on. Good to hear. Well, thank you for having me on again, guys. we are three people with attitudes making up fortress.
Yep.
The Super Sons Fortress of Attitude.
We should invite Brian Bendis on the stream
Yeah.
since we all like him so much.
Hey, maybe I could suggest him a new title for his Jinx World run.
Well, yeah, I'm going to screen share and I know that'd be interesting.
Okay.
Comment tell me what this has been instead of anything going forward. Yeah. Apparently this comic card thing is not gonna go forward every temporary. So I don't know if it is. Problem. What does this mean?
Well, I read that article. It just means that it's not moving forward at this time. The initial plan was to have The plan was it was hoping that all the comic book retailers in North America would sign up an account with Comics Hub. Some of them already have an account with Comics Hub. Most, or at least half, do not. And the idea would be that you could order your comic books digitally from your comic book shop, and you could read the comic books digitally on a Comics Hub website, and then when the pandemic ends, the physical copies of your comic books, you could pick them up at your local comic shop. But logistically, they can't seem to make it work because not enough retailers are signed up for it, because there's some additional cost for the retailers to make that happen. And I know my comic book retailer I spoke to, it doesn't work out for him or his franchise of comic shops. So it doesn't work for him, unfortunately. And so frankly, it looks like, they're going to have to do something different. And my personal opinion is I want my comics digitally then. And if the comic book retailer market doesn't survive the apocalypse, so be it.
Yeah.
And we're all suffering right now, but I don't want the comic book industry to die. We have to give priority to the comic book industry, not retailers. The industry comes first. We're talking about survival of an industry, not just retailers. And digitally, they can still survive.
They can survive digitally, yes, but I can involve more of a picture card digital, because picture card I can read, I can touch. And it feels more easy to read from physical card than digital. Like, I like digital sometimes, but I don't know. Digital, if the internet goes down, I lose my comics. If the server goes down, I lose my comics. So it's kind of like rules when stuff used to do at the same time, because sure, I might have it in my hand, but if my phone gets damaged or destroyed, I lose my comics. So like I said, it when I used to do it. That's why I physical I trade to get a copy of the story. Because I don't read issue by issue and insanity. Most of the time, anyway.
Well, if you noticed that last week I managed to get a Vault review up as well, covering Batgirl.
Nice.
By Brian Q. Miller. I really enjoyed Volume 1 and Volume 2. And even Brian Q. Miller on Twitter responded to me saying a bit of a thanks that I enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed that. And
right on.
It's good to sort of like promote some of his work, and I definitely want to check out more.
Yeah.
Apart from reading through trades in this time period, to which I'll probably find some other trades to review in this time.
Yeah.
Because if you saw how many trades I've got to read through right now, well, in this time period, at least I've got something else I can review. Whilst I'm waiting for my comics. So that's a good thing. That's a positive that comes out of this. So we can't neglect that. Not only that, I've also got manga I've been reading through.
Nice.
And if there's anything in the manga that I like enough that I want to review it, it too will get reviewed on the channel.
Yeah.
But it won't be reviewed. It won't be reviewed anything in, say, the Super Sons website, Super Sons Fortress of Attitude website. That's its own separate website because it deals with the topic of the Super Sons and those who enjoy the Super Sons. To which we the readers do enjoy the Super Sons.
And Wolverine Super Sons great. I remember before it was a great like fun family story, a great kid story. It was smart and actually mature because it then felt like dark, gritty, and yes, there's a dark moments. You can't really there's a dark moments, but it actually makes sense in that dark moment if it's organic, not forced. Which is why when Bendis destroys Super Saiyan, I remember putting it on the live stream, is that it took away this great innocent book, but threw it away because Bendis would do his own thing, and we don't know the history of that. And what when Super Saiyan destroyed, is that there's so much story to tell with Super Saiyan that they're untapped. Like, you still got Johnny going to school, for God's sake. Like, still has to be anyway. To take all that away, it's not this bad story, then. Okay, it's bad story, but it takes all good story off and have John go up and be a good person, right? Because both not being rushed to become a adult, it would make more sense. And that's why I love Super Saiyan so much, and I love my Superman book and Dungeon Action Comic because he developed the character organically.
Well, to continue on with, say, the Super Sons, how about next week we cover Trial of the Super Son?
Yep.
Or Trials of the Super Son, to which will then give us the opening for the week after that to begin the first volume of the Super Sons. Unless we want a bit of a break, say, in between, and then move back into...
No matter to me. What Trial of the Super Sons? Is that issue 7 through 12, or what is that?
That's 7 through 13. So, so we start off in 7 through to 13. The first few issues before we do end up into Trial of the Super Sons. Just a couple of small stories.
Yeah.
So a bit of a filler story, and then it moves into the main story, which is the Trial of the Super Son, or Trials of the Super Son.
Issue 7, if I remember it well, it's the fair. When John Cardinal goes to the fair. But I love it. I love that issue. That issue is adorable. That issue made me smile. It's so cute. Like issue 7 and issue 8 and 9 are my favorite issues in the entire run. Next to issue 10.
So be back around the same time next week.
Yeah.
Cover Trial of the Super Son.
Yeah, sure.
Good.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Well, this is the Super Sons and the Fortress of Attitude with Comic Boom, which you can go check out his channel. Loving the Hellbat suit there. And Tevye Smoker, don't forget to check out his channel. Of course, you already know mine. And we'll be back again next week around the same time, to which we begin the next volume on the Trials of the Super Son. We hope you look forward to it. We look forward to seeing you. We can't do this without you.
Remember, if you're going to come to the fortress, you got to bring your attitude.
Oh shoot! Oops.
You got to end. That's how you got to end the broadcast. You got to say, remember, you got to the fortress, and do bring your attitude.
Amen.
All right. Well, how about we end it there?
Okay.
Thank you heaps for turning up.
Yep. Anytime.
All right. Thank you for having me on, and we'll see you next week.
Yep.
See you next week.